And finally, she's on Anele and The Club.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. We are so excited. The entire building's like, oh my word, you guys have Miss Honey in studio tomorrow.
So
I'm just like, you're never going to shake the Miss Honey thing off, right?
Never,
it's sticky.
never. Except the problem is, you said last night, oh, she looks like that. She doesn't. Don't look too close.
No,
Don't
that's
look too
not
close.
true.
From far.
Keep a soft filter on, then it's good.
So here's the thing. Firstly, a lot of people, I promised people that you're going to bring them a clue for the sound of the city.
Yes, they were telling me about that.
Okay, wait. So here's the sound of the city. And obviously, the one person that would get you closer to winning 17,000 Rand is Miss Honey, right?
Right.
So she's got a clue for you.
You might hear this after a night out or during a night out, is the clue.
Oh, that puts us in a different direction already. All right, we'll put the clue up at primemediaplus.com. You can go check it out. Go listen to the sound. Thank you. Thank you, Embeth.
Somebody's
Thank
finally
you.
going to crack this thing, thanks to you.
Do you do this every day?
Every
Yeah.
single day. And this
this is
sound has been
clever.
carrying on now for 18 days. No one can crack it. And
The same one?
The same sound.
Oh, I didn't know that.
18
Okay.
days. It's been haunting everyone in Johannesburg.
I sort of have an idea of what I think it is. I don't even know.
Please tell us.
I think it's a tram or a trolley sound. That sounds...
Like a tram, like a train, tram,
It can move.
trolley.
Do you know why it's not? Because they said it doesn't have wheels.
It doesn't have wheels.
Okay, there we
No,
go.
it's not. Okay,
all right.
Okay,
sorry.
but she still gave you a clue. The reason we are here is that the entire country today is going to get to experience this beautiful project that you've put your entire heart and soul behind, right? And every time people ask me about it, the one question they ask me, and I cannot answer it, is that when you were reading the book, at which page do you decide this has to be a movie?
Not right away, not the first reading. So I read it when the book first came out. She brought that memoir out in, I think, 2001.
Yeah.
I read it. It was on the New York Times bestseller list. I was living in America. I said, oh my God, any story south of the Zambezi, but this one especially, wow, this is a lot like what I remember South Africa being in the 70s. Cut to 15 years later, I'm sitting thinking, I've raised the kids, I've got time on my hands now. If I want to develop something, what's a great part that I want to play? Oh, that book. Went back and read it and I said, this would make a great film. So at first I just thought this is the definitive memoir from the white child's point of view of how...
Which is an important story to hear from as well, that we're not hearing.
It's good to hear it because it's, well, the way I feel like she told it and I told it is, it showed how bad it was for...
Both sides.
For both sides. It was fine for the whites, but what I was showing is what the white child saw the white parents doing and what she got from the black people, which is what that end image is about.
Yeah.
So it really was, anyway, that evolved, that image at the end of the film evolved, but to me, the calling came later.
And then when you decide on something like that, who's the first person you call? You know, what's the first decision you make? Who do you want on your
I first
team?
told my husband, who ended up being, you know, the mostly financier for the film, and I saw his eyes widen, like, why do you want to take on a film about race? I think he thought maybe you're going to cancel us out. You know what I mean? Like you're going to make, in the time of woke and Me Too and
You're
all
gonna
that.
get cancelled,
You could get
yeah.
cancelled. And Anele, you were the first person I said, Anele, am I okay telling this story? And you said yes, because you're telling it the right way. You're showing something, but there's also joy and there's uplift. It's the hard stuff, but it's also the good stuff about it, right?
And also, I said this to a few journalists last night on the red carpet, because obviously this question came up about race. And come on, guys, we South Africans.
Yeah.
We are race triggered at all times. And they're like, you know, should this story be to be told? And I was like, I believe that I can listen to you even if I don't disagree, if I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's not going to change whether I agree with you or not and all of that. But I can still hear what you've got to say.
And I think what I was saying is this wasn't the right way. The whole point of it is let's show what happens when children sit there and listen to adults talking a certain way.
And that's what I want to say about the film, is that whilst it plays off, this is the backdrop of it, I think there are so many complexities that we brush over when it comes to hard issues. Complexities of family, how kids experience it, how we imprint our fears onto our kids, because that's a big story in the film as well. How the mom, sort of Bobo, experiences what the mom
And
is
starts
afraid of.
parroting what the mother says.
What the
Yeah.
mother is saying, you know, and I think those themes are universal across our lives, regardless of which situation we're in. You know?
Yeah.
Speaking of Bobo, we have to do a deep dive into that, because every person who messaged me after watching last night's premiere, they're like, love this, love that, love the visuals, love the. Somebody said they like the visual cues. I was like, oh, stop it. Hello, Juilliard. The visual cues. Excuse me. So on the way, we speak Bobo, and then, believe it or not, Embeth didn't want to direct this movie. She ended up doing a phenomenal job.
Incredible.
But she didn't want to direct it, and I want to take a deep dive into that thought process as well. So after last night's premiere, somebody said we're going to say the American softer when we say American South African. We're going to say American South African.
I'm more South African. I'm South African.
I know, so we're obviously going to say South African now. Can you believe it? You didn't want to direct this, and then you just met with so many people, and you know there was screenplay after screenplay. At which point you say, let me just do it.
Here's what happened. I was writing the screenplay. It took many, many years. One draft after another, because the book was so long and I had to distill it. I had to make it one moment in time in order for it to be a film. And really, once that was done, I was like, finally, I have it. And it was my husband. I said, listen, I can't find somebody that I really think can direct it. Could I? And he said, you have to do this. You know how to do this. You've been on so many sets. You've worked with great filmmakers. You know where to put the camera. You know the story better than anybody else, so I have to give him credit for that.
So another person said to me last night that they'd like to open, so I want to open Embeth's brain up. And I said, no, let's not do that.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
You still need it. But it was actually Mihlali, and because she was saying she wants to understand, because the way Bobo's directed, there's a playfulness in her, and she wants to know, what did you do on set?
Here's the thing. Okay, so I love talking about this because, first of all, initially, the story wasn't told like that through the child's point of view, with the child's thoughts.
Yeah.
I wrote that screenplay and I went, nobody wants to watch a racist white woman, my character, behaving badly. But the child is charming. Then I went, let's make the child the lens. It's like a filter you put on the lens. Now the audience sees the whole world through the lens of the child.
And you trust the child because 7-year-olds don't lie.
Exactly. So she's telling her truth. So now we know, oh, that's what she's learned, the way that she speaks. But it's also, she's funny. She's honest. She says the wrong thing because there's no filter on her. But at the same time, then I pick a child who's cinematic, who's beautiful, whose face you want to look at. And the way that I worked with a child, I had to have a kid that had never acted before, because any kid you give a line to, they learn the line, they suddenly saying the line, it goes up and down.
And then they recite the line.
Exactly. And she even did that when I gave her lines. So I said, no, don't give her the script. I'll tell her the vague scene before. I throw a line at a time. When I was talking to Trevor at the Q&A in LA, Trevor was like, mouth hanging. He goes, this is how you did it. I said, yes, you don't find the perfect leopard cub and then teach it to be a leopard cub. You take a leopard cub and you observe its behavior.
Right.
So for my thing with her, never learn a line, throw a line at her. What would you say to Sarah in this instance? Okay, tell her this. This is the rough shape of it. And then Zikona would improvise with her. I had the shape of the script, and I'd say, Lexi, this is how your response is going to be. She just had an ability to do it naturally, but if we did it too many times, it started to sound learned and sing-song. So we had to do it very few takes. Very few takes.
And that's, I mean, my friends asked the same question last night because we as film watchers, we don't always understand what the director does. And everyone walked out of the cinema going, that kid is amazing. Lexi is incredible.
And she is amazing, but I couldn't make her act.
But that's what I said to everyone.
But for you to understand that and know immediately that I can't make her act, and then you have to rejig how you're going to do this, means that you've done this in another life.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Or maybe I so understood from even the rehearsal process of seeing, audition process of seeing children come and act. I went, oh my God, the performativeness, it can't do it. So when I had a kid who I could say a line to and she could say it once, twice, naturally, then don't say it a third time. So it was, guys, is the close-up camera on her? Is the wide shot on her? You've got 2 takes, that's it. And then in the editing, it was sifting through hundreds of hours to find the authentic moments, when she's picking her nose, when she's got the hiccups, when she's pulling the
panty out of the thing.
Pants,
I love
always.
that.
And she didn't even know she was doing it. So what I said is, we're capturing behavior. We're not capturing acting.
And I love the way you described her as a leopard, because when you watch the movie, she's like a wildcat.
She is a wildcat.
She's just in the wild. And you can't have somebody acting when they're in the wild, because she's grown up in a farm. She's grown up free.
No, and people were saying, bring a kid from England. I said, I'll rather die than put an English child in this. I need a kid who's barefoot, whose hair is matted when she wakes up in the morning, who doesn't take a bath every night. She actually does, but she's a free little soul. She's a feral little thing, and that's exactly what we needed.
I want to ask, because this is set set. I mean, look, it's set in the transition Rhodesia to Zimbabwe, independence, etc. And it's such a difficult thing, and the scope is so big when you talk about that story and how the transition happened. When you watch the film, there are so many incredible little visual clues everywhere, from the radio broadcast, the TV clips. How did you decide how to build that world? And did your experience as an actor help you at any stage throughout the process?
I think the fact that I've read as many scripts as I have, good and bad, that's lodged in my head somewhere. And as I worked with the script, I thought, how am I going to tell the war? I don't have a budget to tell the war.
Yeah, we can't show explosions.
You're going to shoot war, and someone blown up on the side of the road, you can't do it. So I started to pepper it with, I went on YouTube and I started to get all of these pieces of what the news forecasts were like. You can actually find them. The news, X amount of people were killed, people were, farms were raided, 2 people were lost in a blah, blah, blah. So I had that. And then after I actually saw the film, the first cut, I went, nobody's still going to understand the war. So I bought the television footage and the war footage and I placed it in. And then I went back to the child's point of view and I said, what about she's drinking a beer under the table, looking at a man's head blown open. She's sitting at Granny's house and Granny's pouring tea and complaining about the vote. And she's looking up and seeing, people shot.
Yeah.
And that's the way that you put it in there. And she's just eating cookies, watching it. So that's the way that you layer it, but I had to have the visuals to show
It's
it.
incredible.
And we shot those as inserts and put them in after the fact.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's incredible.
Because I remember speaking to one of the great singers in South Africa, and she was, she was quite popular during apartheid, right? And when I interviewed her, and she said, what you guys forget about apartheid is it wasn't war and sad every day, right? So when you watch Lexi eating a biscuit, watching the news, you realize that whilst this war was happening, other people were drinking tea.
Yes.
And it's so good to see that perspective because it balances, that entire time frame.
And I feel like for South Africans particularly, I always say this, particularly when I'm in the US talking about it, because they don't really know our history as well and they don't know the Zimbabwean history, is I say, listen, Zimbabwe had a long, intense, brutal war. South Africa had a longer, quieter war. It took much longer to get to independence for us, but those wars were being fought while people drank tea.
That's it.
This is what the movie's all about. I've got goosebumps. Listen, before we say goodbye to Embeth Davidtz, right? And before you book your tickets to go and watch this movie tonight, we feel that she can't stop now. Are you listening to this genius talk?
I just want to
hear
more.
Are you listening to this debut director acting like she's been doing this as long as Quentin Tarantino has done it?
And that's how good the directing is as well.
So we need to give her next project. 011-8838-947. Which book have you read that you'd like Embeth Davidtz to turn into a movie? She's got time. She's got a husband. She's going to find the budget.
She can direct this thing.
She can direct this thing. Send us a voice note as well. A book, and you think to yourself, my word, why hasn't anyone
made this movie? Yeah.
Send a voice note as well. 084-0000-947. That's how we'll say goodbye to Embeth Davidtz. If Lana Del Rey was poor,
yes,
we'd get more music from her. It's just that she's fine. She's got rich parents. She's too happy. She doesn't need to pay the rent.
Yeah.
But this girl's talent, if this girl's talent was met with poverty, my friends.
She is amazing.
My friends, this is Lana Del Rey on 947 Summertime Sadness. We're wrapping up our chat with Embeth Davidtz, the director, actor, the screenplay writer of the movie that is at cinemas across the country. Don't Let's Go to the Dogs Tonight. It opens today at cinemas. We'd like for you to go and watch it. But before we let Embeth go, we need to get her next project, because this was a book by Alexandra Fuller, right?
Yeah, and she's done an incredible job bringing it onto screen. You'll see it at the movies. You'll fall in love with the little Bobo, Lexi Fenters, the actress. But now, what's the next thing?
Our job is to make sure that she has her next project.
Because we need Embeth back here.
084-0000-947. Let us know, what book have you read and no one has turned it into a movie and you think that's a travesty?
So amazing to hear Embeth speak. She and I went to the same high school. She was much further ahead of me. I think I was in standard 6 then, and she was in standard 12. And even then, she was just a powerhouse actress, and we all knew she was going to go places.
Amazing.
Her name is Annie B.
Is she live?
No, that was a voice
That
note.
was so
She said,
nice.
that was so
How
stunning.
amazing. That's so nice.
Okay, so I've got the first pitch. The book is called American Dirt. Okay. I need to find the author of it, because I even went and I did my research yesterday because I wanted to pitch this to you. So American Dirt is about a mom who has to flee South America into America. But then you know how they sneak into America? They have to trek through the desert for 3 days.
Across the Rio
which
Grande.
is dangerous,
Terrible.
dehydration, the sun gets them and everything. And her focus is her son. But on the route as well, she makes friends with 2 teenage girls who are also fleeing. And it's just...
Anele. Now we have to find out if the rights are available for it, because that's always a thing.
Janine Cummings, sorry, is the author.
That one.
Yeah.
American Dirt. Okay,
American
I'm gonna
Dirt.
find out. I'm gonna
Okay.
look. I'll look.
Please.
So something
Sounds
that you think
amazing.
might be lacquer?
That's exactly the sort of story that I like. There's got to be drama, connection, personal in the middle of it. I love the idea of a mother. I love the idea of the younger generations around her and the struggle. And I can even start to see. I know what that desert looks like. I know visually what that would look like.
When I was reading it, I felt like I was getting hot and parched because the words were just so good.
Wow. Okay, I'll get it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's good.
Cool. This
One
is like
on the
Dragons.
list.
This is like Dragon's Den.
Yeah, from books to movies.
Okay, Marian, good morning. Welcome to Anele and The Club.
Hey guys, how's it going this morning?
We are so good. How are you, Marian?
I'm very well, thank you. Firstly, congratulations, Embeth, on
Thank you.
such an amazing achievement, and I'm really looking forward to watching the movie soon.
Thank you.
Anele, you put butterflies in my stomach with that question, because immediately the book came to mind, and it's a book that I read by a South African author named Steve McGowan, and the name of the book is 6 Years with Al Qaeda. And the story is about the fact that, he was traveling across Africa to with the destination point to South Africa, and he was captured by Al Qaeda along with a few other international hostages. And he is the longest surviving hostage with Al Qaeda. He lasted for 6 years, which had never happened before. And sorry, I'm just parking my car.
No problem.
Safety first. Safety first.
That sounds amazing.
And it's absolutely incredible. And he tells his story about how resourceful he had to be in terms of surviving each and every day.
Gosh.
How much he learned in terms of cultural differences. And he, at a point, he actually learned so much about the faith of Islam that he converted.
Interesting.
And it wasn't a survival strategy. It was because he
saw something
he
there.
became curious and he converted. And I don't know if he, still follows the Islamic faith, but he's still alive. He does international speaking, and I think he's someone worth talking to. And the book is just fascinating.
Amazing.
So I really hope that.
Thank you for that tip.
It's something
Thank you.
that you find interesting.
Thank you.
I've heard him speak before. It's an incredible story. He was motorbiking through Mali, and then he ended up in Timbuktu with Al Qaeda. Embeth, she's right.
Wow.
Listen to this little line. This is a line. I'm just Googled the book quickly.
Yeah.
This is one of his lines. He says, "This was the greatest chess game of my life." There
What
we
a drama that would be.
Wow. That's
wow.
a title for
Amazing.
a movie.
Because I was just thinking, how did he negotiate getting out, then falling in love with Islam, and then being torn between two, whatever, religions, cultures. The characters that you could, I'm sure there are characters that he'll tell you about. Fascinating.
All I'm saying is Marian is coming with us to the Oscars.
Yes, you'll have to.
Without a doubt. Oh, listen, we are absolutely out of time. I'm so sad, but it's fine. Embeth,
Gosh.
congratulations.
Thank you. Listen, thank you for your help. You two, my executive producers, along with Paul. You have pushed and brought this to South Africa. You are the launching pad here. We couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you. That's very nice.
It was an easy sell. You really came through with absolutely everything.
I can remember when Paul phoned me and said, I spoke to Embeth. Embeth says this book, and I bought it immediately, read
You
it.
did. You read it. I remember
I read
you
it and immediately went, yes, yes. No, that's incredible.
Thanks, you
well
guys.
done, Embeth.
Onwards and upwards, and I don't think this is the last time you're going to be on our show. Just by the way.
I like that. I'd like to come back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. Embeth Davidtz, go and see the movie tonight. Let's go to the dogs tonight. It's at cinemas across the country. Bye-bye.
Anele and The Club
on 947.